welcome back to another episode of Blackwell Unbound. I'm Arinthia, and we had just snagged the money from our rainy day jar, and we were rushing off to give it to somebody we barely even know just to get some questions and answers out of them. And we were also checking out Johnny
let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
I'm actually going to complete the woman in the busted down apartment first, because it's, in my opinion, it's the most boring storyline of this game.
It's open! I'm back here in the kitchen!
Harriet?
Mrs. Sherman, if you don't mind. You from Seagram Realty?
Yes.
Have you got my money?
I wanted to ask you a few questions first.
You're welcome to ask me anything you'd like, after you give me the money. You got it?
I sure do.
It's about time. Give it here!
It's about time.
Here you go.
It's all here, sure enough. I'd say thanks if I hadn't had to fight tooth and nail to get it.
What teeth, you old bat?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I won't. Now, you wanted to ask me something?
So tell me about yourself.
Me? What do you want to know?
Your name came up during an investigation I'm working on.
Investigation? Don't you work for Seagram Realty?
Not exactly.
Ah, you just use them as a way to get to me, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Oh, not at all. Just don't expect your money back.
She's all heart.
Well, at least she's a good sport about it. I mean, she did get $60 from us.
What can you tell me about the construction site on 53rd Street?
You've been there? How's the old place looking?
It's a big hole in the ground.
Ha! Can only be an improvement. I used to live there. Then Seagram Realty bought it and tore it down. Going to build something new and fancy, no doubt.
Have you ever been to Roosevelt Island?
I hardly ever leave this room. So, no.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
Actually, wait a minute, I have to talk to her more.
It's all.
Whoops.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Sherman?
Hello, you got.
Yes.
Well, I ain't getting it.
I saw also in this one, they don't tell you, but you can keep asking about topics.
They kicked you out of your own home?
No big loss. The place was a dump. Plus, they wanted it so badly that they paid most of us a monthly stipend just to leave. Pretty generous, actually. I can almost forgive them for nearly robbing me.
So they paid you money to leave?
Yep. Like I said, it was a pretty generous deal. Building was about to be condemned anyway, so everyone was grateful for the offer. Well, everyone except for Mavis Wilcox.
Mavis Wilcox, notebook updated.
Can you tell me anything else about your old building?
Good riddance is what I say. I lived on the 3rd floor. Everyone on the street could see me. I like my new place much better.
Your new place does look kind of swanky.
Who is Mavis Wilcox?
A lunatic is what she was. She lived down the hall from me, so I know how crazy she was.
Why was she crazy?
She refused to leave is why. Seagram was offering her a fortune, but still she refused.
Why did Mavis refuse to leave?
She was a lunatic. I believe I already established this. A total shut-in. The prospect of leaving her little apartment terrified her.
She had a
I'm
phobia.
old and feeble. If I could manage the move, she could have. Of course, it doesn't matter now.
Did they ever get Mavis to leave?
Oh, you could say that. Yes, you could definitely say that. She left all right. Left the entire world, in fact.
You mean she died?
Yes. Someone broke in and choked her to death. Right in the apartment she loved so much. I'd call it ironic if it weren't so tragic.
Did they ever find out who killed Mavis?
No. Some stray kid, most likely. Thought the building was empty and went in to steal whatever was left over. Didn't count on anyone being there. Bumped into Mavis, then had to kill her. Happens all the time.
How well did you know Mavis?
Like I said, I lived just down the hall from her, on the 3rd floor.
So
I didn't know her well, but she did get some mail just before they smashed the place up. I took it, just in case a relative or something came looking. But it's been 6 months, and nothing.
yeah, you have to keep talking to her about Mavis Wilcox until she mentions the mail.
Anything else you can...
Just that she lived, there's nothing.
Yeah, and that should be it.
Do you still have Mavis's things?
Yes, I do. Such as they are. There wasn't much, just that envelope on the counter.
Could I look at it?
You knew Mavis?
Sort of. Yes.
Well, you might as well take a look at them. Nobody else has
it's
come
just,
looking.
mail fraud. Nothing that big, but I mean, I guess she's dead.
Thanks.
I wonder if that dog's named Cooper.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
$60. Yeah. I hope you enjoy that $60. Anyway, let's go look at Mavis's things. Oh hey, telephone.
Lauren, it's Jack. Lauren, I know you're there. I'm your brother, for God's sake, talk to me.
By the way, that voice was David Gilbert himself. He actually does voice a couple parts in this game and all of his games. He'll usually have some either small part or some major part. Anyway. There's another achievement. With the camera.
I want to talk to you, Joey.
Yes.
Say cheese.
It went out of 4 bonus photographs. There are...
Having fun?
trying to think. Trying to think who the other 3 are. You can't take a picture of Harriet because you automatically get locked into a dialogue. And no 2 of the others. I think you can take a picture of the saxophone guy on the promenade. Anyways, let's go look at these pack of things.
There's not much in here. Just a photograph and a letter.
J. Mitchell, the New Yorker.
That's her. That's the ghost at the construction site.
So our ghost's name is Mavis Wilcox.
I'd bet the farm on it.
Now, the thing that hung me up on this, you can actually take a look at this again. Is you're supposed to, yeah, take a look at his shirt.
He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt. This kid doesn't look too happy to be with Mavis.
That's her. Definitely the lady at the site.
Just to realize you're supposed to look in the phone book, look up Columbia.
Columbia University. Here's the number.
But we don't know the name of the kid. I know the name of the kid. You don't know the name of the kid. Have we heard the name of the kid before? Yes, we have, actually. Anyways, let's... Vamos.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Let me slide on over to the promenade one quick second. Get this photo.
Say cheese.
You can just right click here to get rid of it, which I wouldn't say it's the best interface, because sometimes I end up clicking on things and they're like, you can't use these things together. Okay. That's right. You can also look up the New Yorker. Do I have to use the full name?
There's no entry for that.
Yeah, it's very touchy on the entries.
Yep, there's a listing for the New Yorker. Their main office is in Midtown.
And then you can call them up.
Thank you for calling the New Yorker. How can I help you?
Hello, yes. I'm trying to reach a reporter named Mitchell.
Let's see now. Mitchell. We have a Joseph Mitchell on staff. Is that him?
I guess it's worth a try. Is he in?
Yes, he is. Hold, please.
Get sent to voicemail.
He's not answering.
Well-
maybe I should go up there in person.
Answering machine. It's the 70s. Did they have answering machines in the 70s? The good old ones with the big ass cassette tapes, maybe? Maybe that was before my time. Yeah, that's how you get to find out where he is. Let's call him back.
Hello? Hello? Lauren, is that you? Sis?
Jesus.
Now, why'd you go and do that?
Just back off, okay?
All right. This is me backing off.
Good.
I'm trying to remember when their relationship was that rocky. Maybe I think it does have to do with Joey, but
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
I know everyone's like, let's go to Johnny Ivory's, but we're going to go to the New Yorker first. We're going to get, as I said,
Yes.
her out of the way.
Can I help you?
Are you Mr. Mitchell?
I sure am.
I'm Lauren Blackwell.
Well, do come in, Miss Blackwell.
By the way, that is David Gilbert playing Jay Mitchell.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Well, there's no harm in asking, certainly. What is this regarding? Are you a reporter, or...
No, an independent investigator.
I see, so you're not with the police.
Would it matter if I was?
No, it wouldn't. So what can I do for you, Miss Blackwell?
And let's just talk about
Did you know Mavis Wilcox?
her.
Miss Wilcox. Yes, I remember her. Lived uptown a ways before she died.
How did you know her?
I wanted to write a piece about her, so I met her for a spell. Interesting woman. How did you know her?
I'm looking into her death.
I see.
So what can you tell me about
Keep
Mavis? I get the
the
impression
topic
she didn't get out
Going.
much.
That's an understatement. I got in touch with her through a colleague who was covering that demolition. I wondered what made a woman like that tick, so I made an appointment to meet with her.
What was she like?
A very gracious woman. Brought me in, made me a cup of tea, showed me pictures of her family. All in all, it was a pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
What happened to her?
Keep talking.
Killed, so they say. Was found choked to death in her own apartment.
Any thoughts on who did it?
Well, there were rumors that the labor union decided to take matters into their own hands, as it were. But I doubt that. The police ruled it was some squatter or drifter or something, and left it at that.
And what do you think?
Me? I have no theory.
Of course you don't.
Why did you want to write about her?
I found her fascinating. She was asked to leave. She was begged to leave. She was even offered lots of money to leave. But she kept refusing. She was too scared. I had to know why.
And what did you discover?
That, Miss Blackwell, is the eternal question. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years. Most of them were odder than Mavis. It's impossible to decipher the whys and the hows. As time went on, I've
Foreshadowing.
contented myself just with the whats.
Yep, there's lots of foreshadowing.
Anything else you can tell me about
Clicking on
Mavis?
the topic.
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
So tell me about yourself, Mr. Mitchell.
I beg your pardon.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, I heard you. I hope you didn't come here simply to interview me. I'm afraid I'd make a poor interview subject.
Have you heard these reports of saxophone music on the Roosevelt Island Promenade?
Saxophone music on the promenade. I'm afraid not. I haven't been to that area since, well, in a while.
Yeah.
I'd like to read your piece about Mavis.
I'm afraid I no longer have it.
Do you know what
you
issue
don't.
it was in? I'd like to look it up.
I never published it. I was going to, but then Mavis died and it just seemed wrong somehow. I don't even have the rough copies anymore. I'm sorry.
Didn't publish it.
So how long have you been working here?
Do you always ask such personal questions?
I'm just curious about the sort of work you do.
I write about people, Miss Blackwell.
What sort of people?
Not the famous sort. Just ordinary people, like you or me.
Ordinary people. Like me.
You find that amusing?
Oh, not at all.
I'll conclude. By the way, Joseph Mitchell was a real person.
I think that's all for
that
now.
did work for the
All right.
New Yorker.
You have a good night now.
The New Yorker. And one of her dreams alludes to a person he interviewed. Trying to remember. I think I'm missing something here. I think I have to call Columbia up. Supposed to get the son's name.
Columbia University, operator speaking. How may I direct your call?
I doubt the ghost goes to Columbia University. Thanks anyway. Bye.
I'm trying to remember how I get the name of the son.
This kid doesn't look too happy to be with Mavis.
Oh, that's I remember how. And we'll find out how in the next episode of Blackwell Unbound. Join me next time. Adieu.